Extraordinary live show at the Miller Theater on May 16th, hosted by paranormal expert Dustin Pari of Ghost Hunters. You know that show, where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural blur.
Yeah, we talked to Dustin about the show. Take a look.
Dustin, hey, thanks for joining us today.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here. This is a very cool thing. So you're coming on stage and you're talking about your experiences. What can people expect?
The way we've been running the show is that we do it in two parts. So the first part is a prepared lecture talking about the history of paranormal research. I've got some spooky photos, some things that we discussed. And I really think it's kind of cool because it takes on a whole different story arc about how we are spirits going through this human experience. You know, I don't believe us to be from here. I don't believe us to stay here. So there's a lot to discuss. And you know, the questions that we ask that are very human questions, like what happens after we pass away. And then the second act is me answering everyone's questions live on stage that they submit with a QR code on their phones. And we have a nice discussion about all things spooky and weird.
Very cool. Very cool. Especially the audience participation part.
Yes, yeah. So, Dustin, how did your fascination with the paranormal begin?
This started for me when I was just about 9 years old with what I would now know as a shadow figure. But as a kid, I was just terrified. I was in my room, things didn't feel right. Something was weird, and as I looked around at my door, there was this like tall, dark shadow, and I felt like it was staring at me, but it didn't have any facial features, and I was petrified. I just pulled the covers up over my head. I said every prayer I knew. I was like, I never want to see this dang thing again. And I've spent the last 30 years of my life looking for them. So it's been a strange story.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely put you in a certain direction, especially towards this. So how did the idea for doing a traveling show like this come about?
So the production company, Ryan Engel, has been putting together some shows like this where we get an expert in the field and travel around to discuss these kind of things. You know, the kind of things that people I think used to talk about, maybe a little bit of like the water coolers at work and questions that maybe we don't always feel comfortable discussing. And I think the afterlife, ghosts, and all that thing really kind of just lays into that. You know, we have questions and we want to have this discussion. And I've been to 27 countries. I've been across 6 continents, 47 states. I've done countless investigations, so who better to discuss it than me? And I have a great time on stage. I love seeing everybody come out to the theaters. Every theater has its ghost, so we talk about that too.
Ah, okay. Well, the Miller, being as old as the Miller is, yeah, that's a good thing right there.
That's a good thing. Dustin, where can people find more information about you or in the show?
So the links are always up at ghostsdoyoubelieve.com. That's ghostsdoyoubelieve.com, and you can learn more about me at dustinpari.com.
All right. Again, that show is going to be May 16th at the Miller. Doors will open at 6:30, showtime at 7:30. Hey, straight from the horse's mouth here. He's the ghost hunter. He knows all about it. Dustin Pari, check that show out. Thanks for joining us here today. Appreciate the info.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
I used to love